With the release of the new AMD Strix Point aka the Ryzen AI chip, we are seeing a slew of new laptops equipped with the Ryzen AI 9 HX370. This new ASUS Zenbook S16 UM5606W is also equipped with the same chip. And not only that, it also comes with a brand new chassis, a bigger screen, super thin body, and an actually magnificent performance. Let's take a look at what this laptop has to offer. Before we begin, do like this video and share it with your friends, then subscribe to our channel as it will help us out a lot. Now, let's talk about the design first. This new ASUS Zenbook S16 UM5606W comes with the new Ceraluminum, which is basically ceramic aluminum. It's highly polished and it looks beautiful, and it is available in both the Zumia grey and Scandinavian white colors. We have the latter, of course, and it is also very lightweight. This laptop only weighs in at 1.5 kilograms and has a thickness of 1.2 centimeters at its thinnest point. Yes, this laptop is really sleek, but sleekness aside, when we open up the laptop, we are presented with a magnificently big, bright and brilliant OLED screen. As the name implies, it's a 16-inch OLED panel with a resolution of 2880 by 1800 pixels. It can also go up to 120Hz refresh rate. As expected, the screen quality of this OLED screen is fantastic. We can get around 100% of both sRGB and DCI-P3 color gamma coverage, and has a maximum brightness of around 400 nits, typical for an ASUS laptop with OLED screen nowadays, which actually sets a very high bar for other laptop manufacturers to compete. Oh, this is also a touchscreen, by the way. I know it looks impossible since the screen is so thin, but yes, it is a touchscreen. And we also have the ASUS Pen 2.0 included in the box as well, so we can, draw stuff on the screen with this pen. So yeah, that's an option. Then comes the keyboard. Now, because this laptop is so thin, the keyboard travel distance is gonna be affected. Yeah, it definitely feels weird as the keys almost immediately bottom out when I type on it. It's quite a big departure from the last generation of Zenbook's keyboard. Still, the keys are very responsive as it is also very springy. The trackpad is huge and responsive as well, and ASUS also added two new gestures. Swiping up from the left edge will change the volume, and the right edge changes the screen's brightness. It's a very nice feature to have, but I think the palm rejection for these gestures aren't particularly that good, as it changed the brightness of the screen while I was typing. So yeah. There's also another gesture to seek video by swiping at the top edge as well. And I personally find it to be a bit difficult to control this, as I prefer spamming the arrow keys instead. Before we talk about the performance, this laptop comes with this list of specs. AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX370, AMD Radeon 890M integrated GPU, 32 gigs of RAM at 7500 mega transfers per second, and half of it is allocated as the iGPU's VRAM, and also 1TB of NVMe SSD. Now, if we compare the performance of the ASUS Zenbook S16 UM5606W with the ASUS VivoBook S16 M5606W that we have reviewed not too long ago, link at the top right corner there, these two laptops have more or less the same specs, and the performance isn't particularly that much different, but it definitely feels smoother on this Zenbook right here. If we use Black Myth Wukong's benchmark, then the difference is gonna be amplified, as we can see that this Zenbook has a much better consistent frame rate. Yes, the Windows build number and the AMD GPU driver is slightly different, but I don't believe those two differences yield such a big performance gap. Let's not forget that this Zenbook, despite it being thinner, also has a quieter fan. I really have no idea what magic they did here, and I'm loving it. Have a listen to this comparison here. The battery life of the Zenbook S16 UM5606W is in line with what we had before. So this laptop comes with a 78 watt-hour battery, and for my particular use case of around 60% brightness while browsing the web with YouTube music and also some YouTube videos in the mix, we can get nearly like 7 hours of use time, and that's good. Now, one thing that I want to celebrate with you all is this. This is the charger that is included with the laptop. Yes, this tiny charger can supply up to 65 watts to the laptop. After so many years, ASUS finally hopped onto the GAN bandwagon, and I'm just happy that they're doing this. The ports available on this laptop are very good as well. We have double USB 4 40 gigabits per second ports, one HDMI 2.1 port, one combo audio jack, one more USB 3 Type A port, and also a full-size SD card reader, which is great to see on a laptop like this. Still, I hope for a USB 4 port to be placed on the opposite side, but I understand that the USB 4 controller chip is located on only one side of the motherboard. Oh, speaking of the motherboard, this laptop's motherboard is rather small and a majority of space is taken up by the battery, which I find it to be interesting. Only the SSD can be swapped out though, as the RAM and also the Wi-Fi chip are soldered onto the motherboard. As for the price, this laptop is priced at 7,299 ringgit Malaysia, which is definitely a premium price to pay for, but considering what this laptop can do, I think it is actually worth the price. It's portable, has a magnificent OLED touchscreen, a rather long battery life, lots of useful ports, and it also is powerful enough to play a lot of games. Yes, the fans don't sound like they're about to take off as well, which is excellent, and this is an impressive feat of engineering. I'll leave you links to our full review of the AMD Ryzen AI 9 HX 370 chip alongside with links to purchase this laptop. Remember to like and subscribe and let us know, do you like this laptop? Because I personally like it a lot. We'll see you guys in the next video, and if you have any questions, leave them down in the comment section below, and we'll see you guys there.